Today, we embark on a journey through the fog-laden corridors and time-worn walls of Britain's most haunted castles. These ancient fortresses, steeped in centuries of intrigue, are not only architectural marvels, but are also the resting places of countless ghostly tales and spectral legends. From the crumbling battlements of Edinburgh Castle to the shadowy halls of Warwick Castle, where restless spirits are said to roam, we'll uncover the chilling stories that haunt these historic sites. Prepare to be captivated and utterly terrified as we delve into the ghostly encounters and mysterious apparitions that define these formidable structures. So, grab a snack and dim the lights as we venture deep into the shadows of Britain's haunted heritage. Are you ready to face the phantoms of the past? I'm your host, Severed Soul. Dudley Castle. First, we embark on a spine-chilling journey through time to investigate the ghostly legends that haunt Dudley Castle. This historic ancient fortress is steeped in tales of mystery and the supernatural. Prepare to uncover stories of lost souls, tragic fates, and the lingering presence of those who came before us. Dudley Castle was constructed in the 11th century, originally as a defensive stronghold. Over the centuries, Dudley Castle has played host to royalty, witnessed battles, and endured sieges. As we traverse the castle's storied past, we learn that every stone may hold a memory, and every shadow might conceal a spirit longing to be heard. Among the myriad of ghostly figures, the Grey Lady stands out as a poignant symbol of sorrow. Many believe that she is the restless spirit of Lady Jane Grey, the 9-Day Queen, who was imprisoned here before her execution. Witnesses often describe her as a sorrowful figure, clad in grey, drifting through the castle grounds, her presence accompanied by an inexplicable chill. Some have even reported hearing her mournful cries echoing through the castle, a chilling reminder of her tragic fate. Others believe the Grey Lady to be the spirit of Dorothy Beaumont. Dorothy lived in Dudley Castle for a time, and gave birth to a daughter within the castle. Unfortunately, Dorothy's daughter died during childbirth, and various complications led to Dorothy's death shortly after. She is said to wander the castle and its grounds because her requests on her deathbed were not met. She simply asked that she be buried beside her daughter, and that her husband attend her funeral. But because neither of these requests were granted, Dorothy continues to be tormented to this day and cannot rest. The ghost of Dorothy can often be seen in the castle keep, and in the pub that was named after her on the castle grounds, the Grey Lady Tavern. With so much war and destruction surrounding Castle Hill, it's no surprise that spirits from the Civil War still linger. One is that of the little drummer boy. The young lad was killed by a stray bullet from a musket during a small skirmish. It seems the little boy never found peace, as he can still be heard hammering on his drum as if preparing for war. Because of the unfortunate cause of the boy's death, by a wildly inaccurate 17th century firearm, it's considered bad luck to see him or hear him pounding on his drum. The dungeon of Dudley Castle is infamous for its dark history, a place where countless prisoners suffered in silence. Many visitors have felt an overwhelming sense of dread when entering this area. It's said that the spirits of those who perished here cannot find peace. Reports of chains rattling and ghostly whimpers permeate the air, leading some to believe that these tortured souls are still trapped within the walls of their torment. A local historian was quoted as saying, "The dungeon was a place of despair." It's no wonder that people report an uneasy feeling when around the dungeon area. The energy of suffering can linger, and it's believed that the spirits of those who endured so much pain remain, seeking solace. Beneath the chapel of Dudley Castle is the Undercroft, one of the most haunted spots in the entire castle. There is a stone coffin holding the remains of John Somerset, one of the most feared lords of Dudley Castle. Many people who have visited the Undercroft have reported seeing ghostly limbs walking along the coffin, believed to be the legs of John Somerset. Other visitors have reported feeling their clothes being tugged or being poked by unseen hands. Because of these reports, there have been many paranormal investigations specifically within the Undercroft. During one investigation, a little girl was reportedly flipped over whilst sitting on a chair. Another time, the investigators captured a large dark shadow on camera. In 1962, staff from Dudley Zoo were working in the Undercroft because at the time this is where the aquarium was housed. The staff rushed out when all of a sudden they could all hear surreal moans and groans, and doors started slamming all around them. As we delve deeper into the castle's legends, we encounter the ghost of a mysterious knight. Said to be the spirit of a brave warrior who fell in battle defending the castle. His presence is often felt near the battlements. Visitors have reported seeing a shadowy figure clad in armour, standing vigil over the castle grounds. Some have claimed to hear the sounds of clanking armour, and whispers of long-forgotten battles, a real testament to his undying loyalty. Dudley Castle has become a hotspot for paranormal investigators and ghost hunters, eager to uncover the truth behind its haunted reputation. Equipped with EMF meters, spirit boxes and thermal cameras, they have documented numerous unexplained phenomena, from sudden temperature drops to disembodied voices. Each investigation reveals more about the spirits that might inhabit these ancient walls. According to the Friends of Dudley Castle website, the guide recounted his experiences.
It happened on a fairly quiet afternoon. I was sitting at the bottom of the castle keep, in full view of the doorway, when suddenly 2 elderly people came from around the keep, dressed in 17th or 18th century clothing. They walked straight up past us and up into the keep. I followed after them, but there was absolutely nobody there. They had just disappeared.
As we conclude our journey through the haunted history of Dudley Castle, we are reminded that the past is never truly gone. The stories of the Grey Lady, the drummer boy, and the mysterious knight serve as a testament to the lives once lived here. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the legends of Dudley Castle invite us to reflect on the echoes of history that continue to resonate within its walls. If that's not enough to send chills racing up your spine, then maybe stories from the next castle on our list will. Ruthin Castle, North Wales. Next, we're diving into the chilling tales of one of the most haunted castles in Wales, Ruthin Castle. With a history that spans over 700 years, it's no surprise that this majestic fortress is home to many ghostly legends. Ruthin Castle, built in the 13th century by Edward I, has witnessed battles, sieges, and royal gatherings. Originally constructed to dominate the landscape and secure the Welsh borders, it has a rich history intertwined with tales of nobility and tragedy. Over the centuries, the castle has undergone numerous renovations, but its haunted reputation remains as strong as ever. One of the most famous spirits said to haunt Ruthin Castle is Lady Grey, although there are others. Visitors have reported seeing a soldier as well as a little girl. Lady Grey is said to have found out her husband was having an affair with a peasant girl. She then subsequently killed her husband's mistress. For this, she was tried of murder and sentenced to death. It's speculated that after her execution, Lady Grey's spirit remained at the castle. Her spirit has been seen in the banqueting hall and wandering the castle battlements. Some say she wanders the corridors searching for peace. Guests have reported seeing a figure dressed in grey floating through the halls, accompanied by a breeze that sends shivers down their spines. Witnesses describe her as a sorrowful presence, often appearing in the chapel area of the castle. Imagine walking through the dimly lit halls, when suddenly, out of the corner of your eye, you catch a glimpse of her flowing grey dress. It's a haunting sight that has left many questioning the boundary between the living and the dead. The ghostly figure of a soldier wearing just one glove has also been spotted wandering the castle grounds. Ghostly orbs have also been seen, which are taken to be an indicator of the presence of one or more spirits. Another chilling tale is that of the clanking chains. Visitors have reported hearing the sounds of chains dragging along the stone floors, echoing through the corridors. This phenomenon is often attributed to the spirits of prisoners who are held in the dungeons of Ruthin Castle. The sorrow and despair of those who suffered here are said to linger, manifesting in these ghostly sounds. Paranormal investigators have spent nights exploring the castle, capturing EVPs of these ghostly sounds, further deepening the mystery of the castle's haunted reputation. Strangely enough, some visitors have even reported hearing the sound of a ghostly child laughing throughout the castle's corridors. This unsettling sound often leads to the discovery of a ghostly apparition of a young boy, believed to be a former resident of the castle. His playful spirit seems to roam the grounds, inviting those who hear his laughter to join in his eternal game. Many ghost hunters have aimed their equipment at this phenomenon, hoping to capture evidence of his presence. What could possibly be more chilling than the jestful laughter of a child in such a foreboding place? Ruthin Castle has attracted countless ghost hunters and curious visitors. Many have left with stories that are hard to believe. One guest who spent a night at Ruthin Castle said,
I felt an ice-cold hand grip my shoulder, but when I turned around, there was nobody there.
A second visitor at the castle was quoted as saying,
We were in the chapel when we heard a whisper, but there was nobody else around. We all heard it. It was a chilling experience, to say the least.
whether you believe in ghosts or not, the stories of Ruthin Castle are undeniably captivating. A blend of history, legend, and the supernatural creates an atmosphere that continues to draw people in from all around the world. Would you dare to visit Ruthin Castle? Let us know in the comments section down below. Do you believe that Ruthin Castle is genuinely a haunted site? Edinburgh Castle. Next, We're embarking on a spine-chilling journey through one of Scotland's most haunted and iconic sites, Edinburgh Castle. With a history that stretches back over 1,000 years, this magnificent fortress has seen its fair share of bloodshed, tragedy, and loss. Join us as we delve deep into the spectral stories and ghostly legends that haunt its ancient walls. Edinburgh Castle has been a royal residence, military stronghold, and a symbol of Scottish independence. From its earliest days as a fortress in the 12th century to its role in pivotal battles, the castle's storied past is filled with tales of betrayal, sorrow, and murder. With such a tumultuous history, there's no wonder Edinburgh Castle has so many ghost stories to tell. We'll explore these tales, starting with the castle's most famous spirit, Edinburgh Castle's very own Grey Lady. Arguably, the most tragic ghost, the Grey Lady, is a mysterious 16th century noblewoman who has been spotted around the older parts of the castle. Sometimes she wanders aimlessly around the castle, other times she just weeps. This shouldn't come as a surprise, considering that she is associated with two of history's most unfortunate figures. Some say that she might be the spirit of Janet Douglas, Lady Glamis, a woman accused of treason by a vengeful King James V. Even then, everybody knew that the accusations were baseless. But Janet Douglas was burnt at the stake outside the castle on 17th of July, 1537, in front of her son. If that isn't enough to turn someone into a vengeful spirit, I don't know what would be. Others speculate that the ghost could be that of Marie de Guise, the Catholic mother and regent of Mary, Queen of Scots. Marie de Guise found herself on the losing side of the Scottish Reformation. When she died in 1560, her corpse was kept at the castle for months, wrapped in cloth and kept in a lead coffin to keep the smell at bay, before Protestant nobles finally allowed her remains to be shipped home to France. There have also been reports of a ghostly man who smells distinctly of manure and tries to push visitors over the castle's battlements. The story goes that he was one of many poor souls imprisoned in the castle's dark, damp, rat-infested dungeons. Desperate to escape, he crawled into a wheelbarrow full of muck, hoping to be carried out of the castle and emptied onto a nice soft dung heap. But the wheelbarrow was tipped over the battlements instead. What happened to him on the jagged slopes of Castle Rock can be left to the imagination. Two of the castle's best-known ghostly apparitions are that of soldiers. Legend has it that many years ago, the entrance to an underground tunnel, perhaps an escape route in case of a siege, was discovered in the depths of the fortress. A regimental bagpiper was persuaded to explore the tunnel, playing his bagpipes as he descended so his comrades above ground could follow his progress. But at the Tronkerk, halfway down the Royal Mile, his underground piping abruptly stopped. Soldiers went down to look for the piper, but, tragically, he was never seen again, and eventually that tunnel was sealed. Today, people still claim to hear the sounds of the bagpipes playing from underneath the ground of the old town. Another military ghost seen on the castle's battlements is that of a headless drummer. This grisly figure was first seen drumming a warning signal in 1650, just before the castle was attacked by Oliver Cromwell. Ever since then, the headless drummer has been considered a harbinger of danger. Guards and visitors alike have reportedly seen ghostly figures dressed in military uniform, often accompanied by the haunting sound of distant bagpipes. These encounters have sparked interest in the castle's connection to the military and the stories of those who served. Among the castle's ghostly inhabitants is a more comforting figure, a spectral dog. Edinburgh Castle is said to have a ghost dog that haunts the grounds of the castle's dog cemetery. The cemetery is located near the Argyll Battery and is the burial site for regimental mascots and dogs that belonged to distinguished soldiers. Some visitors claim to have heard the sounds of barking and pawing, and even seen the outline of a large black dog. The tale goes that a loyal hound, belonging to a soldier, perished in the castle grounds. To this day, many claim to have seen a large ghostly dog wandering the area in search of its lost master. Those who encounter the dog often report feeling a sense of protection, as if the dog's spirit is watching over them. Now, let's take a trip to the castle's dark dungeons, where many met a very grim fate. These cold, damp cells echo with the cries of prisoners who endured unimaginable torture. Numerous accounts of paranormal activity have been reported here, including inexplicable cold spots, strange noises, and even the ghostly apparitions of tormented souls. Visitors have described a feeling of a heavy sense of dread when entering the dungeons, as if the spirits of the past still linger in the shadows. As we conclude our journey through the haunted history of Edinburgh Castle, it's clear that the spirits of the past continue to leave their mark on this historic site. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the stories of ghostly encounters and restless souls add a fascinating layer to the castle's legacy. But what do you think? Is there any truth to the stories of the Grey Lady, the Piper, or the Headless Drummer? Let us know in the comments section. That's all for today. I hope you've enjoyed our journey through some of Britain's most haunted castles. I'll be creating plenty more content around Britain's haunted castles, so please leave your suggestions in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for a feast of grim and grisly content. As always, thanks for watching. I'm your host,
Severed Soul.